Happy hunting.
Hunt me.
I am the hunted one.
I'm hunting most things.
Let's hunt something. You can hunt. Long have you hunted me?
You're being hunted.
Welcome back to another top 10 curated from steemhunt.com for the 22nd of October. Let's get into the hunts for today. The first one is Collab Hub, VR drawing and diagramming app for the HTC Vive. These headsets now, these VR headsets, you can like pay just a flat price and just get it all in one. You don't have to have a computer connected to it, and I think that's when they're really going to start to take off, when the price is reasonable enough for you to be able to pick one up like from your weekly or monthly wages, when it drops down to a price where you can just get a new headset, when they get lighter, when they get more high definition, when they're kind of native to the experience we have on iPad or our computers in general. I think that's when they'll really take off. Right now they're kind of a bit of a gimmick, and like they're a payment thing that I'm not keen in getting it until they've moved on so much that it's probably going to be 6 months or a year before you have to upgrade it. At the minute I feel like everybody's throwing different versions of these things out, but the ability to create a virtual whiteboard with full color palette and many shapes to choose from, collaborate with others with as much or as little drawing space as needed. $4.99 from the Steam on the Steam store. I can absolutely imagine my daughter will love playing with something like that. Next up is Multiplicity from Stardock. Great company. They do software KVM, so if you've got two PCs you can install this software on one machine and then put it on the other machine, and that way you can control both of those machines over a network without having to have a keyboard and mouse on both systems. Really simple, really easy. Best 20 bucks you'll probably spend. Skycat today. The Skycat Pro, always land on your feet. So you bought a really expensive drone. It's got a really expensive DSLR on it. It's carbon fiber. It's like $3,000 worth of kit, and then it goes wrong. The battery failure, it falls out of the sky, breaks, smashes. You have to like spend another 500 bucks or $1,000 getting it fixed. Not really thought that through in terms of what happens in those situations. So Skycat have this parachute launcher that you can connect to the top of the equipment, which fires out a parachute within milliseconds, so the thing floats back down to earth rather than coming down like a big sack of potatoes. Brilliant idea. Trusted by militaries, professional operators, developers, researchers and logistics organizations around the world. Makes total sense. Not that heavy. You can even get one called the Skycat XL for 80 to 40 kilogram drones with like heavy duty stuff on it. Makes total sense for the investment if you're spending that much money on a drone and it's part of your job or using it for work, you know. Double Gene, this one's really interesting. So you've seen those kind of sci-fi films where they have laboratories full of like centrifuges. Well, this is like a open source centrifuge from a DIY perspective. So I don't know how good it's good. I don't know how good it is, should I say, or what kind of quality compared to an enterprise class like fully fledged laboratory unit. But the notion of being able to create this from like open source parts in your own house, you know, for your kids to play with this stuff before they actually get to university or actually into a working environment. Obviously they're going to be like completely different things, but the process of them is pretty much the same. So speeds up to 8,000 RPM, fully 3D printed and laser cuttable frame, powered by Arduino, timed and spin functionality. Like, that's cool. This stuff's cool, right? It's cool for kids to play with this stuff from a STEM education perspective, right? So like multiple different maths, application, science, all pulled into one. Taking some of those ideas and just being able to do it. Like, I have a laser printer here, I can mock up the design over here, I know what the PCB board looks like, I can solder that, and then I have to actually program all those bits to get it to work. I mean, that's pretty like incredible. Reactor is next, a collaboration art project which has this kind of centrifuge on what looks like a 40-foot shipping container, but it's actually made from wood. I think they maybe modeled it on the size of a shipping container, 40 foot by 8 foot across. This thing has a centrifuge on it itself in that, but it's kind of an art project. You see this little dude here, which way? This way? Yeah, this dude here, look. When there's more than one person on it, this thing kind of levels out, and depending where you are on this concept piece, is it reacts to the energies almost of where those people are. And I think from a conceptual art perspective, I think that's really fascinating. It'd be great to be able to sit in the kitchen and know that somebody was walking towards you as the whole thing started to yawn and shift. Also, something like this, tracking the sunshine, like moving around, so you can sit on the deck at the back there and like watch the sunset or the. It'd be just amazing. What a cool idea. Simple secure data, $5 a month. Sound interesting to you? Bulletproof databases, backups in 5 minutes. Creates, encrypts and stores your database backups and alerts you when something's wrong. What I like about sites like this is that they focus on a particular thing and then they do that only. So you know pretty much that, you know, if you're worried about database backups, secure encrypted backups, then having a dedicated service to do that, it just takes all the stress and worry out of it. Installed in 60 seconds, no configuration file needed. Bring your own S3 bucket or let us manage the storage with the Pro plan. Always monitored, always ready to restore. Continuous backup testing, alerting if problem is detected. Ultra fast restore. Compatible with Docker. Distributed scheduler. No cron tab needed. I mean, like literally, you can do it in 3 lines of code, which is crazy. You just grab the debacked engine, you mod it in. You change mod it, give it some permissions, and then you just give it some sudo the install agent. So give it root access, and it just sits in the background and does everything you need from the code. And it's only $5 a month. First 10 gig of backup storage included, and then 0.30 cents on gigabyte afterwards. No AWS account required. Perfect. Like if you're worried about databases, your database going down, or you want a quick way of being able to restore it, this looks like the perfect thing for you. Last 4 things today. Travel Stack. Travel Stack is a decentralized photo diary and social network for travelers using the Block Stack blockchain, which I don't really know that much about. Connected, universal, showcase. So usual kind of setup. Display all your photos from your travel. I presume they're going to do video at some point. So it's a bit like Instagram and Facebook, but you own your data. And I presume at some point also they'll be able to pay you for that content as well. I'm not seeing much of the site. I'm seeing a bunch of pictures and a little bit of content, but I'm not seeing enough about the actual project. So maybe it's one of those things that you have to sign up and get into before you can find out more about it. Create an Alexa skill or Google action for your API without coding is next. Allow users to interact with your application using their voice. So if you have a standard REST API, so already connected in with your system, or maybe you can play around with the REST API for Steem, you can actually add voice actions to those things. That's kind of exciting because this can make those rules and do all that coding for you, as long as you come with a REST API. And it's not actually that hard to build a REST API. So imagine some of the things you can do with this. Add a voice interface to your API, trigger webhooks with your voice. Any application with an API can be controlled. Create a flash briefing set for your blog in minutes. Already have your podcast on iTunes or Google Play. Create an Alexa podcast skill in seconds using your RSS feed URL. Very, very cool stuff. Last 2 then, Luma. Perfect your whole meal prep with a swipe. This is something that Dale does every week now. She's actually going to get ingredients today, and then she does all of food prep on Wednesday, puts them all into separate boxes, puts them into the freezer, and then brings them out every night for the next day. Perfect way of keeping on top of expenses, but also to make sure that you don't get off onto like other different foods. You've got your food all locked in. It means you can work, check your time every 4 hours, go and grab your meal. Jobs are good. Simply create your weekly plan by swiping through recipes. Automatically track your calories and micronutrients to move effortlessly from huge goals to daily achievements. Say hello to grocery lists ready as you are. That's a huge part. Having the grocery lists inside of the application and being able to prep all that and then get to the store and know what you're going to buy just saves you buying all the wrong shit. Screen Peek is final one today. Screenpeek.io. Paste the URL, create mockups. They do a pro account so you can make ones for iPad, MacBook, and an iMac. You can do it for iPhone for free. These little sites are really good for little residual income. Imagine if you had 1,000 people globally using your service for $5 a month. Nice little residual income. You can build a little bit of projects. You need that database thing earlier on that you saw for $5 a month to make sure your database is running. get a decent web host. This could be a nice little residual income. That's it for me today. I know I'm racing through it today, and that's because I'm excited to work on a client's screencast today, and it's 2 o'clock already. And so if I take it, extrapolate like I want to do the next 5 hours, that means I'm going to finish at 7 o'clock, and I want to watch my favorite streamers, so I'm like blasting through. This is what the website looks like as of October 2018. All the hunts are on the right hand side, which you can see there. When you click through, they appear on the left. The white button takes you through to that hunt. You can fill out this form here on the right hand side by clicking on the plus button top right hand corner when you're logged in. If you don't have a Steam account, you can click on the sign up top right hand corner now, get a username, put in a phone number for verification. Once you get the verification code, you'll be ready to get going on the Steemhunt platform. I should actually step through that at some point and test it out so you can see what that looks like as a little video. Putting the title, subdescription up to 1,000 characters of text, upload an image up to 5 meg. It could be a GIF. I would recommend probably using images to start off with though. And then put some tags in, click on publish, goes to Steem blockchain under your account name that you picked at sign up, or if you've got an account already, and it stays on the Steemhunt website for 24 hours where it might get commented and upvoted. And if it does, you get a bigger payout from our bot, which runs about an hour after midnight South Korean time, which is about 4 p.m. GMT in the UK. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate your I really appreciate your time. I will catch up with you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.
Prepare the path of a steam.
It smells steam.
Stum nasi, wat is een stum nasi? Stilmachine. Why shouldn't it go